it's here in the telegram. Epitaph. I got the horse right here.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, May the 31st races at Hastings. We have 7 races on the Saturday. We, of course, have 7 races on Sunday as well. Weather, as of taping, it was a little shaky, but it's supposed to get beautiful through the weekend.
Yeah, that would probably actually bodes well. We did have a really good hard rain, and now as the sun comes out, I think we'll get a really good track this weekend. A good fair playing track, and a good weekend. Bit of a slower weekend all around as far as horse racing goes.
I know. I mean, we don't have a Triple Crown race this week.
Exactly. We've been spoiled the last 3 weeks or whatever. Even the week before you get to talk about next week. This week we don't have any of that going on. No stakes races on schedule at Hastings. Some good, very good competitive, tough races to handicap.
We got some good races this weekend. Some. Field size is still good, and we start off a little light at the beginning of the card, but that's the case everywhere. You look around, I don't care if you go to Belmont or you go to Santa Anita, the first 3 or 4 races are 5, 6 horse fields, but
you got to let them run.
You got to let them run. Okay, and speaking of running, let's get picking the first race. Non-winners a 3 for fillies and mares, $4,000 claimer is going to go 6.5 furlongs. I guess the 3, Beautiful Strike. I mean, probably don't need me to tell you that this horse is pretty live in this spot.
Yep.
Pretty comfortable win over its Gold Baby last time. Was allowed to set up pretty pedestrian pace, and it just looks like that's going to happen again. I don't see anyone challenging Beautiful Strike through the opening half mile. And the only way she can get beat is if she does get pressured, and I just don't see that happening. So I like Beautiful Strike at a short price. Maybe can key her in the pick 4s or whatever wagers you like to play. But Beautiful Strike looks extremely live in the opener. I put the 5-horse Doreen's Delight in for second, off the pace type that needs some pace presence, and I just don't think she's going to get it. She's good enough to win at this level, and she will win a race real soon at this 4,000 on 3 category, but I'm a little concerned with the pace scenario. And I put the 2-horse Majestic Woman coming in for Robbie Anderson, and Corinne Andros will ride for the Hazeldean stable, a longtime owner, Bill Koken. And Majestic Woman's been working well in the mornings, but once again, another one that comes from a little bit out of it. I think she'll come running on late and get part of your triactor, but I think Beautiful Strike is in a great spot. She drew a paceless race, and she must win the opener. I went 3-5-2.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I did try and beat her just to try and get a price.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that maybe Ryan Pacheco on Triple Witching Hour will push Beautiful Strike. He's just to the outside of her. Triple Witching Hour does have a little bit of pace. If she does that, I do like Doreen's Delight. The last time she faced Beautiful Strike, she did beat her in a race, as you mentioned, that had more pace and set up for Doreen's Delight. But then Doreen's Delight went into a non-4, which was out of her conditions. Ran against Miss Heatheridge, Haida Gwy, some tougher fillies. So I got her on top, Beautiful Strike in the second spot, and Majestic Woman. Same 3 horses as you mentioned for the reasons you mentioned, but I flip-flopped the top 2. I went with Doreen's Delight for Hall of Famer Harold Berry. Try and give it a price in the first race. 5, 3, and 2 for me in the first. On the second, fillies and mares is actually a 3-year-old filly maiden 5,000. The condition of the race is fillies and mares, but they are all 3-year-old fillies. Field of 7, I've gone to the 2 Jag Time Tune out of the Nancy Betts barn. Amadeo Perez takes over on this one. 2 decent runs for maiden 12-5. Running in some tough horses, Appreciate the Roses, Battling Brook, Rachel Run. I don't see anybody near that tough in here. I think if Amadeo Perez gets her in a good spot early, she could get the money. The second spot I put Dreaming All-Star, the Tack Inoue barn. Tack's horse has been running very well. Another one's coming out of those Battling Brook, Irish Lyric type races. And the third spot, Silver Pursuit, out of the Jody Rawson barn. Jody's horses have been running well. She's off to a good start as well this meet. And basically, I like the top 2 much more. I needed a horse to put in the third spot. Was looking at Portray Your Vision, but I went with Richard Hamill and Jody Rawson. They've always teamed up to do well together. I got 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little off the charts here. I see a bit of speed in here with the 2-horse Jag Time Tune, the 3 Dreaming All-Star, and the 4 the Kula Kid, and even perhaps the 7-horse with a little better beginning, Jamila. So I'm just hoping that something materializes on the pace. I know you can't wish it happens, but I think I'm going to handicap that may happen, and that would help the 6-horse Portray Your Vision, who has been in some paceless races against better company. Battling Brook and Irish Lyric. I think that's a strong race to look at. I agree with Dreaming All-Star also coming out of that race. I think that's a live $12,500 filly maiden race, and a couple of them are dropping in here for 5. But I think Keyshawn Bell-Gobin can have this horse, 5, 6, 7 lengths off the pace, and I'm just looking for a little livelier front end. So I think Portray Your Vision could be quite dangerous. I'm going to try her to win it. Put the 2-horse Jag-Time Tune. I agree with your top pick. I got her in for second. Ran against better company as well, and she's up near the pace, and certainly can't hurt to have Amadeo in the irons. And the 3-horse Dreaming All-Star, who was pressured quite a bit, didn't get any breaks. Was pressured by another filly, and then got Battling Brook and Irish Lyric kind of came at her quickly, and so she had a lot going on in the opening 5/8 of that race. And I think things are a lot easier down here for 5,000, so I could see her winning as well. I think you need all 3 of them. I went 6, 2, and 3 in the Saturday second. On to the third race. Got some $25,000 fillies and mares here.
This is a tough one.
Going to go 6.5 furlongs. Got 6 of them scheduled to go postward. I had a lot of trouble with this race.
You can make a case for every mare in here.
I left Hidden Harbor right off the ticket.
Yeah, me too.
I can see her winning by 5 lengths in 16 and 1.
Yeah.
But it's just that kind of a race. I went to the 6 Ouch. I think she's the solid $15,000 to $25,000 mare. I think this race came up kind of 15 to 25-ish. It's not really a tough 25. And I think Ouch fits nicely in here. The Condolinos barn's been going well this spring again, and the works are solid. And she proved against older mares last year that she was going to be a force, in that particular category. And anytime she dropped in for 15, she was dangerous. She won for 25, beat Dashing Daisy and Queen's Vicar, who are both better horses than what she's facing today. But she doesn't have the benefit of a race under her belt. A few of these others do. But I like Ouch. I like the post too, because she's a versatile filly. She doesn't need to lead. And I think Corinne can kind of get a good, feel for where she's at, sit on the outside, keep the filly out of trouble, and I think she'll make her presence felt. I put the 1-horse Closing Intentions in for second. I was really impressed with her win at the 15,000 level, or 16,000 level, and just blew the doors off in that race, and then kind of cruised under the line a length and a half. The best, and I think she's ready for a jump up in class, and Richard Hamill sticks with her. And I put the 3-horse Dear Lily in for second. I can see her winning as well. She chased Overvalued in that race, and those two dueled each other into defeat. And but this is a lot easier assignment for Dear Lily, so I put her in the mix. Once again, this is not a race you're going to key anyone.
This might be an all button here.
I went 6, 1, and 3. I mean, the only one I don't fancy is Curie's Gal, a nice filly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think she, maybe she got clear. I mean, maybe she could win. But Secret Cove might get a good pace to run at. She's live.
She's taking a big drop down.
This is a good.
I think so.
This is a good race where all 6 fillies really have a good chance. But you got to pick one of them. I went to Ouch. I went 6, 1, and 3.
I had a lot of trouble between those two. I ended up with Dear Lily. Was running very well at Golden Gate in very tough races, and came up here, tried our best older mares, and that was too much for her, and she drops in for 25. Mike mentioned this probably more like a $20,000 race.
Yeah, it's not a tough race.
But yeah, it's very tough, but not maybe
competitive.
25.
It's competitive, yeah.
I put Ouch in the second spot for the reasons you mentioned. A very honest filly that in that $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 range is always right there, always very tough. Only got beat a length and 3/4 last year by Cry, and I think so, and Hidden Harbor as well, who I left off the ticket, and you had to pick 3 out of the 6. I did put Curie's Gal in the third spot. She really found her legs last year. Craig McPherson's off to a very good start, batting 50% right now, and. Sprinting, she can sprint, she can go long, but sprinting is much more her game, I think. And I think Frank will put her on the lead and say, come catch me, and maybe they'll have trouble running her down. But I went 3, 6, and 5.
Good race. It's a good race. There's a lot going on in this race, and it's just one of those races where
I left out Closing Intentions. I can see her winning.
It's a good race with a lot of fillies that have the potential to win, and it's just a difficult handicapping assignment.
You never get beat by the all button. That's what I say.
Put her in.
6-horse field. 3, 6, 5 for me in the third race. On to the fourth, maiden special weight for 3-year-olds and up. I've gone to the 5, the talented son of Regal Red, Slice of Red. Amadeo Perez takes over. This is a horse that had a little bit of trouble last time, but a good run, his first out. You can see there's talent there, and I think he gets some money today. He's one of my picks of the day. I really like Slice of Red in this maiden special weight. The second spot, I put Song of Victory, a horse who was heavily favored last time. Came in after just missing the maiden race in Golden Gate. Came in and he went into a stake. Did not disgrace himself in there. Just got a little tired late. Then came back in the maiden special weight. Was heavily favored. And again, just got tired late. I don't know. He just seems to be having a little trouble down the lane here. But I put him in the second spot. In the third spot, Son of Tiago out of the Robert Van Overshot barn. Obviously a very talented horse. Only ran twice last year, both in stakes.
Nursery, BC Cup Day,
yeah.
and then Futurity Day.
And the second and the third only got beat by a length in the Futurity.
And all that it means, and
yes.
Never a Better Cause. I mean, that was good. He's a nice colt.
He is a nice colt, but I don't like the fact that he is jumping into the mix here against horses that have had a start. That's why I got 5, 2, 3. I got the 5 and 2 over him. Slice of Red, Song of Victory, and Son of Tiago is the way I went in the fourth. I really like Slice of Red.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a lot to add. I like Slice of Red as well. I think this one's going to move forward. Really no excuses for Song of Victory last time, and if this horse needs to be better. Got loose on the lead last time, got run down, and Slice of Red was running well at the end of that race. It was just his career debut, and gets experienced hands at the helm, and Son of Tiago, nice horse last year, and interesting. Those are your three horses. Spirit River's a 4-year-old running in here as a horse that's eligible.
He's one I had in, and
I don't know about the Qatar's Pearl race. I don't know if that's the strongest race, but we'll after the fact, maybe it'll be a mistake and the horse will win. But I mean,
those are the four. Obviously, if I had a fourth horse, it would have been Spirit.
But it's 5, 2, 3. I agree with your picks, and we got all the of horses too.
Yep.
And when you're typing it in, the only reason you'd ever notice is that when you type it in,
rolls off the
Slice of Red, Song of Victory, and Son of Tiago. There's your triactor in the fourth. On to the fifth race, $4,000 non-winners at 2, going 6.5 furlongs, 3 and ups here. I went to the 6 horse. Your Wish is My Command. I liked this guy last time and didn't disappoint. Won with tons in the tank. It was an easy race. There was dreadfully slow fractions, but this horse didn't get much of a test, but I think he's up to a stronger test, and I think he's going to be dangerous. I put the 7 horse 1440 in for second. This horse had the lead, lost it to Joint Choice. There was a claim of foul, but rightly so. The number stayed up. He was kind of intimidated a little bit. I think it was more just intimidation than being actually fouled. But 1440 still has the race now under his belt. And I put the 8 Shotgun Ralph. This horse ran against Better Company in for third. So I think those are your 3 horses. If you had to go 3 deep in your pick 3s or pick 4s, I think 6, 7, 8 are the ones. But I do like Your Wish is My Command to win it. I like this horse quite a bit. I think I liked him last time, and Richard had lots. And I think there's maybe a 17 and change in this horse. I'm hoping.
I did go to your third pick, Shotgun Ralph. I thought it was a much tougher race last time in Stonebridge Storm and that. He drops down. He's got the race under his belt. Corinne Andrews, Hot Bug Girl for Rob Van Overshot. I got Shotgun Ralph on top. I put 1440, same horse as you in the second spot. Very solid. This is kind of your exact horse. He always runs second, right? He's got 10 starts, 5 seconds, 1440. He's a tough horse, especially at this level. In the third spot, I went with a bit of a flyer. A very limited stable, Bruce Unwin, but he does a very good job.
He does good.
He knows how to have him ready. This horse has not run in 2 years, but he starts right at the bottom for our good friend Susie in the bar, the George Royal Room. Good luck, Susie. So I put him in the third spot, 8, 7, and 1.
Yeah, I can see that horse hitting the board. The horse is running against Better Company.
Yeah, he's always had some talent.
And as you mentioned, Bruce is very good with horses, and wouldn't be surprised this one, be live at first asking.
Yeah, so I got 8, 7, and 1 in the fifth. On to the sixth race. Fillies and Mares. This is a good race. Here's our allowance race. This is one of the highlights of the card here. Fillies and Mares allowance race.
Non-2, non-3.
Non-2, non-3. I looked at your pick. One thing we did in common here, I took Super Divine. You had Hey Did You Notice. We both took the 2 most lightly raced fillies in the race. I got Super Divine. This is a filly who hasn't had much luck since being privately purchased and brought here to Hastings. Ran once last year and got hurt. Comes back this year. Just had a horrendous start. Amadeo almost comes off her, so he kind of pulls her head back. It was just a mess. But she ran on well. Made up a lot of ground. Only ended up getting beat by 2.5 lengths on a track where nobody was making up much ground. So I really like Super Divine. I got her in the top spot. Lockett, one who just missed to Willamette in that last race. Another one that was trying to make up ground on Willamette, who was had a fairly easy lead.
Had a gift lead.
Just kept going. So struggling to try and run her down, but couldn't. And the third spot, the other horse that was right there, Bamboo Dream, under Ryan Pacheco, who's off to a very good start. Good guy. Like to see Ryan Pacheco doing well. I got 2, 5, 7, Super Divine on top for me.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with this race. There's some tough allowance races, and I went to the 3-year-old filly. Hey, Did You Notice? And it's tougher to go against older horses, and I thought the Dossalina race was extremely alive, though. Dossalina came back to beat non two types, and I thought that was a pretty good filly. She got beat by an excellent time of 1:11 and change that day, and she's come back to work well. I don't see a pile of speed in here. I think Hey Did You Notice can get the lead, and I think she's running basically against a bunch of back runners, and I think she's going to be awfully tough to beat. So I like her to win it if she can handle running against older mares. Put the 5-horse Locket in for second. She was closing very well against Willamette, against the slow fractions, but still the dynamics of the race may play against her, and that's a negative, but we'll see how the track is playing, but still she's as good as anyone in here. And I put the 1-horse Graffiti Grace. I liked her first time out. She botched the start. She gets the rail, which isn't the best place to be, but I didn't want to leave her off the ticket, so I'm going to put her in. I know she's better than that race shows, and I just hope she gets out of the latch a little bit better than she did, but she's usually the cause of her own grief. And
yeah, I'm not crazy about her post position.
I wish she had
better
another
on the
draw,
outside, yeah.
but she gets fidgeting around in the gate and messes up her race, and she's just not good enough against decent horses to pull it off. Spotting them 4 or 5 at the gate. But I like Hey Did You Notice? I think that's your horse. I'm at 4, 5, and 1. On to the finale on Saturday. I got some maiden 12-5 granders. I'm going to go 6.5 furlongs. I landed on the 2-horse Regal Legacy. This one is cutting his price back in half from maiden 25 in for the 12-5. Made a wide move and flattened out against Irish Romeo. The final time was pretty quick. And I just think this is an easier assignment, running against a few 3-year-olds in here, and he's one of the 4-year-olds. I just think this horse is the most advanced, and I thought that was a better than looked race last time, so I like that one to win it. Put the 6 Chester's Gold in for second. Off the pace type, they made a good run, and just was second best against Fleming's Beach and Wee Harry, but still ran a good race. And I put the 5-horse Stallman Pete, who had a horrendous trip in his last. Gets Richard Hamill. That might. We'll see how he handles Stallman Pete, but he was wide out through much of the race. Had the 6-hole, 6-post, and out of 6 horses, sorry, and he was wide out the whole trip. And once again, a premature run and flattened out late. But he was as good as Chester's Gold or anything coming out of that Fleming's Beach race. So give him another look. But I think Regal Legacy for me is quite a bit the best. So if I'm going to key a horse, I might be this one in the pick 4. I went 2, 6, and 5.
I got the same top 2. I did put Chester's Gold on top. I thought that was a good race last time. And Amandale dropped his whip. The horse was kind of looming up, and I think he just needed that extra encouragement. And he sticks with him. Mel Snow gives him another chance for the cardinal sin of dropping his whip. I think with that little bit of extra encouragement, he could have been right there. Maybe won it last time, so I put Chester's Gold on top. I agree, Regal Legacy taking a big drop down. This horse was cut out to be a nicer horse, and he's kind of worked his way down to a maiden 12-5 race. But you look back who he's ran against, and he's he was a highly regarded horse at one time, and he's got more talent
pedigree
than he's shown.
Nice horse.
So I put him in the second spot. In the third spot, I went with the Alan May Hall of Famer Alan May runner, Storm Over Sky. This horse had an awful trip last time. I thought that the jockey could have just pushed him to go.
He was green. He didn't want to be in there.
And he just kept sucked him out of it, and he just got himself in a lot of trouble and shying away from horses. I think if he breaks on top, and he could be a run and scared kind of horse, and maybe tough to run down. But give him another shot. I like Storm Over Sky. I went 6, 2, and 3 in the finale. That'll do it for our analysis of the 7-race card at Hastings Park on May 31st. Up next will be our picks. Mike, as always, you go first.
There we go. Back in race number 1, I landed on the 3, the Speedy, Beautiful Strike. Not much brilliance there. I mean, it looks like the obvious horse, 3, 5,
Chalk
and 2.
player.
Chalk, I know, covered in chalk dust in the opener. Race 2, I went a little deep here. I went to the 6-horse Portray Your Vision. We're going to get a good price on this one, 6, 2, and 3. Third race, number 6, ouch, over the 1, Closing Intentions, and the 3, Dear Lily. But that is the tough race in the opening. Any of your opening multi-leg wagers, that third race is tough. On to the 4th, I went with the 5-horse Slice of Red. I think you could probably sneak by with 2 and 5, but I went 5, 2, and 3. In the 5th race, I went to the 6, Your Wish is My Command. 6, 7, 8 for me. I really do like the 6, Your Wish is My Command today. 6th race, I went to the 4, Hey Did You Notice? It looks like the lone speed filly in the race, but she is a 3-year-old tackling older, and that's always a little tough. I went 4, 5, and 1. And the 7th and final, I went to the 2-horse Regal Legacy, one of the few older horses in the race. I went 2, 6, and 5. On to Drew's picks.
There we are. In the first race, I went to the 5, Doreen's Delight, over the 3 and the 2. In the second, I went to the 2, Jag Time Tune, over the 3 and the 5. In the third, I went to the 3, Dear Lily, over the 6 and the 5. In the fourth, I agree with Mike, number 5, Slice of Red, over the 2 and the 3. In the fifth, I went to the 8, Shotgun Ralph, over the 7 and the 1. In the 6th, I went to the 2 Super Divine over the 5 and the 7. And then I capped the 7th. I went to the 6 Chester's Gold over the 2 and the 3.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Hopefully we've given you a little bit of insight into the Saturday card. Once again, first race does go at 1:50 on Saturday, and of course on Sunday we also race seven races on the program, starting at 1:50 as well. We look forward to seeing you again for the Sunday edition.
One thing to add,
Yep.
we still do have space here for the Belmont, which runs next Saturday, June 7th.
Yep.
We have space here at the Derby. You can just call us 604-536-2978 to make your reservations.
Yeah, so come on out. If you're not going to Hastings, come out here to the Derby Bar and Grill. Obviously a fun atmosphere, especially any day, but especially Belmont Day. It's going to be really exciting with California Chrome going for the 3rd leg of the Triple Crown. It should be a lot of exciting. It should be a great day, but it should be a lot of fun this weekend. Weather's supposed to be great. We wish everyone lots of luck in your Saturday wagers. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner, and we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Friend of mine. And just a minute, boys, I got the feedbox noise. It says the great friend.